Good day, everyone, and welcome to our first regional forum of the new school year. We are thrilled that you're able to join us, and we're glad to be back together after a brief U.S. summer hiatus, restarting this important weekly program that has really become a wonderful part of IPM's international educational work as we continue to be connected to each other in the midst of the pandemic and some of the other political challenges, natural and human-made challenges facing our world and Afghanistan and across the United States, certainly in countries like Brazil and India, and particularly El Salvador. Today, we have a wonderful presenter who I'm going to let my colleague, Neda Ramos, introduce. But I want to thank you all on behalf of the entire IPM family for being with us today. And also, of course, remember that it was 20 years ago today, September 11th, that changed the trajectory of so many of our lives and the work of this organization in particular. I remember sitting outside the parking lot in the Heights Rockefeller building and hearing on public radio that a plane had somehow flown into one tower, and then going up to the office, talking to my colleague Bill Hinckley, and all of a sudden another plane, and then going to get my kids from school and gathering around our TV, checking in with my parents and others, as I'm sure all of you did with your loved ones back on that fateful day. And it was obviously that attack that led to the US's intervention in Afghanistan, which has also just concluded in ways that probably are embarrassing and frustrating for many of us. So on that not so positive note, I'd like to turn it over to Neda, and I would invite all of you, as has always been the case, to mute yourselves during the conversation, and at the conclusion of Ivan's presentation, which will be in Spanish and translated, we'll open it up for questions that one of my colleagues will moderate. So thank you again for being with us and rejoining the virtual forum series, and we'll look forward to being with you each Friday moving forward at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. And Neda?
Thank you, Joe. Good morning, everyone. This morning, we are pleased to introduce you to our friend Ivan Villatoro. He studied sociocultural anthropology at the University of El Salvador. He is studying a master's degree in territorial development at the Jose Simeon Cañas Central American University, UCA. He works in the Ministry of Education as a researcher to improve the educational content of public schools nationwide. He has spent more than 10 years in community work with indigenous communities in Pachimalco in areas of organization and linking them with other nonprofits for threatening. Until now, he has supported the creation of different, of the Council of Indigenous Communities of Panchimalco, where members of different communities in that area are part of this council to work for the good of the indigenous population in the area. Here, women, children, and youth participate for access to free education and quality, health, food sovereignty, entrepreneurship, and human rights. Just so that you understand better, Panchimalco is a municipality in the department of San Salvador, known for being one of the places where people organize to maintain their ancestral roots. Ivan is going to talk about independence and cultural homogenization, impacts of the independence process on the indigenous peoples of El Salvador. This day I will be the interpreter, so I will tell Ivan that he can start. Ivan, ¿puedes empezar? You are, no te escuchamos.
Sí. Buenos días a todas y todos. Es un gusto poder acompañarles y
conversar esta mañana sobre los impactos de la independencia en los pueblos indígenas de El Salvador y creo que en América Latina en general.
Thank you so much for joining us. For me, it's a pleasure to be here talking about the homogenization processes that people in El Salvador and also in Latin America has faced.
Bueno, iniciaremos con un breve recorrido sobre las transformaciones socioculturales que han experimentado los pueblos indígenas en El Salvador a través de la historia.
We are going to start talking about the cultural history, homogenization processes that El Salvador has experienced through history.
El objetivo es que reflexionemos sobre los impactos de la independencia en la cultura indígena, por lo que partimos de una pregunta central.
The objective is for us to reflect on the impacts of independence on indigenous culture. So we start from a central question.
¿De qué manera el surgimiento de la República de El Salvador contribuyó en el desmontaje de la diversidad cultural en el territorio?
In what way did the emergence of the Republic of El Salvador contribute to the dismantling of cultural diversity in the territory?
Vamos a iniciar hablando sobre la ocupación humana más antigua en El Salvador, la cual data del año 1700 antes de Cristo.
We're going to start talking about the oldest human occupation in El Salvador, dates from 1700 before Christ.
Desde dicha fecha, nuestro territorio ha sido el espacio en el que diferentes grupos humanos y civilizaciones se consolidaron.
And since that date, our territory has been the space in which different human groups and civilizations were consolidated.
Previo a la llegada de los españoles, el actual territorio salvadoreño se encontraba habitado por 5 pueblos indígenas.
Prior to the arrival of the Spaniards, the current Salvadorian territory was inhabited by 5 indigenous groups.
Uno, el pueblo maya Chortí, ubicado en la zona norte de Chalatenango y cuya ocupación es de las más antiguas en el territorio.
The first one is the Mayan Chortí people in the northern area of Chalatenango, and whose occupation is one of the oldest.
El segundo pueblo es el pueblo Lenca, en la zona oriental, el cual convivía con otros grupos étnicos y cuya ocupación es igualmente antigua.
The second is the Lenca people in the eastern zone, which live with other ethnic groups and whose occupation is ancient.
El tercer pueblo es el pueblo Ulúa, en la zona oriental, y cuyos descendientes provienen de la zona occidental de Nicaragua.
The Ulúa people in the eastern zone, they came from Nicaragua.
El cuarto pueblo es el pueblo Pocomán, en la zona fronteriza entre El Salvador y Guatemala.
The fourth group is the Pocomán people in the border zone between El Salvador and Guatemala.
Y el quinto pueblo, que fue el que se consolidó en el territorio, es el pueblo Nahua, el más numeroso y el que ejerció el control político de la mayoría del territorio nacional.
And the first one is the Nahua people, which was the most numerous and the one that exercised political control of the majority of the national territory.
Y cuyos orígenes provienen de migraciones del centro de México a partir del año 900 después de Cristo.
And whose origins came from migration from central Mexico from 900s after Christ.
Esta diversidad cultural que existía en el territorio se fue transformando rápidamente durante el proceso de colonización.
This cultural diversity that existed in the territory was transformed rapidly during the colonialization process.
La conquista propició una serie de transformaciones políticas, económicas, sociales y culturales sin precedentes.
The conquest led to a series of unprecedented political, economic, social, and cultural transformations.
Los pueblos indígenas, previo a la conquista, poseían un complejo sistema político y económico.
The indigenous peoples prior prior to the conquest had a complex political and economic system,
el cual fue sustituido por el implantado por los españoles.
which was replaced by the one implemented by the Spanish.
Aunado a ello, un conjunto de enfermedades y el trabajo forzado diezmaron rápidamente a la población nativa.
In addition to this, a series of diseases and forced labor quickly disseminated the population.
A pesar de todo ello, los indígenas, en su condición de vasallos del rey de España, adquirieron cierto poder político durante la colonia.
Despite all this, the indigenous people, as a vassal of the King of Spain, acquired certain political power during the colony.
Este poder político que poseían no era el mismo que tenían, por ejemplo, los afrodescendientes y los mestizos.
This political power that they had, cannot be compared to the Afro-descendants and the mestizos.
Durante la colonia se implantó un sistema de 2 repúblicas.
During the colony, a system of 2 republics was implemented.
Este sistema de 2 repúblicas propició que se fundaran villas de españoles y pueblos de indios, con el objetivo de mantener controlada la población.
This system of 2 republics led to the erection of Spanish villas and Indian towns with the aim of keeping the population under control.
Y regular sus interacciones con los demás grupos.
And regulating their interactions with other groups.
Este sistema de 2 repúblicas reconocía la existencia de los indígenas como un grupo sociocultural importante.
This system of 2 republics recognized the existence of the indigenous as an important social cultural group.
Eran los propios indígenas quienes elegían a sus autoridades locales, administraban las tierras concedidas por el rey.
It was the indigenous people themselves who elected their local authorities, administered the lands granted by the king,
y administraban la justicia a nivel local.
and administered justice at the local level.
La República de Indios propició la cohesión étnica.
The Republic of Indians fostered ethnic cohesion.
Sin embargo, de manera paralela, mucha población indígena era asimilada culturalmente por los mestizos.
However, in parallel, a large indigenous population was culturally assimilated by the mestizos,
Quienes al inicio de la independencia representaban una proporción igual o mayor que la población indígena.
who at the beginning of the independence represented a proportion equal to or greater than that of the indigenous population.
La independencia fue un proceso que encabezaron y capitalizaron las élites provincianas de la época.
As is well known, independence was a process that was spearheaded and capitalized by the provincial elites of the time.
Y en este caso, la élite criolla de la provincia de San Salvador, que ya no quería estar subyugada a la corona.
And in this case, the Creole elite of the province of San Salvador, who no longer wanted to be subjugated to the crown,
Ni a las autoridades coloniales que controlaban el comercio en Guatemala.
and the colonial authorities that were controlled trade in Guatemala.
Es de esta manera que la provincia se independiza y se configura la República Federal de Centroamérica.
It is in this way that the province becomes independent and the Federal Republic of Central America is configured.
Las élites de las Provincias Unidas de Centroamérica compartían una misma visión de Estado y ciudadanía.
The elite of the United Provinces of Central America shared the same vision of a state and citizenship,
la cual provenía del modelo del Estado Nacional francés.
which came from the French Republican model.
Bajo esta lógica surgieron 2 facciones, liberales y conservadores.
Under this logic, two factions emerged, liberal and conservative,
cuya diferencia era de método, mas no de objetivo.
whose difference was one of method, but not of objective.
Ambas facciones consideraban la necesidad de construir una nación con ciudadanos civilizados,
Both factions considered the need to build a nation with civilized citizens.
Esta idea de civilización y ciudadanía obviamente no incorporaba a la indígena, por lo que éste debía ser eliminado culturalmente.
This idea of civilization and citizenship didn't incorporate the indigenous, so this had to be culturally eliminated.
A partir de diferentes mecanismos que fomentaban el abandono de la cosmovisión y la cultura indígena.
Based on different mechanisms that encourage the abandonment of the indigenous worldwide worldview and culture.
Desde la independencia hasta el año 2012, para el Estado salvadoreño los indígenas no existían.
From independence until 2012, for the Salvadoran state, indigenous people did not exist.
Y no había necesidad de reconocerlos porque todos somos salvadoreños.
And there was no need to recognize them because we are all Salvadorans.
A pesar que la salvadoreñidad se encuentra fundamentada en la idea de nuestro país como una nación mestiza.
Despite the fact that we as Salvadoran are based on the idea of our country as a mestizo nation.
Esta idea de transformar al indio a partir de instruirlo, de ponerlo en contacto con mestizos,
This idea of transforming the Indian by instructing him, by putting him in contact with mestizos,
rindió sus frutos y mucha población de origen indígena se transformó culturalmente.
yield its fruits, and a large population of indigenous origins they transformed.
Un término utilizado para llamar a ese concepto de transformación es el término de ladinización.
A term used to name that process is called Ladinize.
El ladino fue un término utilizado para definir al que no era indígena ni español.
Ladino was a term used to define those who are neither indigenous nor Spanish.
Y cuando hablamos de ladinización, se habla de ese proceso de transformación cultural que experimentaron los pueblos indígenas.
And when we speak of Ladinization, we speak of that process of cultural transformation that the peoples experience.
Finalmente, en las últimas décadas del siglo XIX y a principios del siglo XX,
Finally, at the end of the 19th century and at the beginning of the 20th century,
los intelectuales salvadoreños jugaron un papel importante reproduciendo esta ideología que pretendía civilizar al indio.
Salvadorian intellectuals played an important role reproducing this ideology that sought to civilize the Indian.
Sin embargo, a partir de la década de los 20 del siglo pasado,
However, starting in the 1920s,
los intelectuales contribuyeron en la creación de la identidad salvadoreña y recurrieron al indígena y a lo campesino.
intellectuals contributed to the creation of Salvadorian identity and turned to the indigenous and the peasants
Como esencia de lo que era ser salvadoreño.
as the essence of what it was to be Salvadorian.
Este enfoque cultural es conocido como folclorista.
This cultural approach is known as a folklorist,
el cual abordaba de manera reducida la cultura,
which addressed culture in a reduced way.
por un lado, romantizando a los pueblos indígenas mientras ignoraban las condiciones de marginalidad y exclusión en las que estos estaban.
On the one hand, romanticizing the indigenous peoples while ignoring the condition of marginality and exclusion.
Ahora quisiera también leerles una cita textual de un intelectual de la época que es el doctor David Joaquín Guzmán, el cual lleva, nuestro Museo Nacional lleva el nombre de este intelectual y él tenía una postura muy clara sobre el tema indígena.
Now I want to read for you a site that Guzman, who was an intellectual from that period of time, said about this process. And also we have a museum called, like his name, Guzman. So,
La cita dice, es necesario que el espíritu realmente liberal y humanitario de nuestras instituciones
it is necessary for the truly liberal and humanitarian spirit of our institutions
penetre por todos lados en el hogar del indígena,
to penetrate from all sides into the home of the indigenous,
instruyéndole, sacándole de la apatía y, si es posible, haciéndolo desaparecer gradualmente.
instructing them, bringing them out of apathy, and if it's possible, making them gradually disappear
En la masa de civilización actual, que es por una parte la suerte reservada
into the mass of current civilization, which is on the one hand, the fate reserved
de otras civilizaciones ya muertas y por otra la gloriosa misión encomendada al apoyo paternal de los gobiernos.
for the experienced vestige of other already dead civilizations, and on the other hand, the glorious mission entrusted to the paternal support of the liberal and enlightened governments.
Es por ello que, con lo anteriormente planteado, podemos concluir
Now, as having said this, we can conclude
que la independencia y el surgimiento de la República de El Salvador fue el proceso
that independence and emergence of the Republic of El Salvador
fue el proceso que contribuyó de manera sistemática al desmontaje de la cultura indígena en el imaginario de los ciudadanos.
Was the process that systematically contributed to the dismantling of indigenous culture in the imaginary of citizens.
En ese sentido, fue la educación la que adoctrinó a la población en cuanto a las narrativas históricas que el Estado le convenía reproducir.
In that sense, it was precisely education that indoctrinated the population in terms of the historical narratives that the state should reproduce.
Donde los indígenas no existían.
And where the indigenous people did not exist. ¿No existían?
Donde los indígenas no existían, pues todos éramos iguales, todos éramos ciudadanos, todos éramos salvadoreños.
Where the indigenous people did not exist because we were all equal, we were all citizens, we were all Salvadorans. That will be all. If you have questions or comments, you are more than welcome. Solo les dije que si tienen preguntas o comentarios, que lo pueden hacer.
Sí, sí.
I'd never heard the term Ladino used in El Salvador. I'd heard it used frequently in Guatemala. And I think Guatemala, in my understanding, has about 40% of the population still that identify as indigenous rather than Ladino. What is the percentage of the population of El Salvador that would be considered indigenous, that would consider themselves their primary identity still as indigenous rather than, for instance, Salvadoran, although they're all, I understand the move to make everybody Salvadoran. What percentage of the population would consider themselves still primarily indigenous rather than Ladino or mestizo or European in background or whatever?
Según el censo del año 2007, que fue el último censo que tuvimos, el porcentaje de población indígena en El Salvador era del 0.25% aproximadamente. Y es importante, bueno, y de ahí te digo otra cosa.
Okay, Iván says that according to a census, ¿en qué año? El
2000,
censo, perdón.
2007.
Okay,
7.
and in 2007, the percentage of indigenous population were 25%.
Oh, 25%.
No, 0.25.
Sorry, 0.25%.
0.20. Oh, so very small in that case.
Este censo, digamos, el último censo que tuvo la incorporación del tema étnico fue el censo de los años 30. Y fue de los años 30 hasta el 2017, hasta el 2007 que se incorporó nuevamente esta pregunta. Se plantea que hubo una serie de errores metodológicos y por eso es que la cifra es pequeña.
Okay, this census, the first census was taken in the 1930s and then was retaken in 2017. So people says, or the study says that probably it was an error they didn't good research. So that's why the percentage is very low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very low.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Clint.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Gracias.
So much of what Ivan shared, I think, is about indigenous is so prevalent throughout the whole world. I know that here in the US with Caroline Mills, she has shared so much of that. What happened, my son shares what happened is happening in Canada.
Yeah.
And I would really like to hear some of the ways that others might be addressing this to bring back this wonderful history and culture so that we can understand and enjoy.
Iván, ella dijo que el tema del indígena se escucha bastante en muchos países, en Estados Unidos, en Canadá, y que es una cultura prevalente y que es interesante cómo otras personas o ellos mismos están abordando esta problemática y están trayendo de vuelta la importancia de poder revivir o de poder rescatar esta cultura y forma de ver la vida.
Sí, igual la iniciativa que yo me encuentro apoyando, que mencionaste al inicio, a partir de ese año, ¿verdad? Ha comenzado a organizarse como comunidad indígena para poder, pues, hacer valer sus derechos y también fortalecer su cultura, que en nuestro contexto, pues ha estado como en una situación desfavorable.
Yes, I agree on that comment. This year, this initiative that NEIDA says, which is the Council of Indigenous Population in Pachimalco, started this year with the objective of defense their rights and their cultural elements.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Tengo una pregunta. it's confused for me. Actualmente hay programas o esfuerzos para incluir a la población indígena en El Salvador. Are there currently programs or efforts to include the indigenous population in El Salvador?
Digamos que existen políticas públicas, el problema es el ámbito de su aplicación. O sea, existe una política pública a nivel nacional para pueblos indígenas y existen normativas locales, pero el problema es que no hay quien la aplique. O sea, existe la ley, pero no hay quien la aplique.
The problem, well, in El Salvador, there are public policies and programs related to the indigenous population. The problem is that there is no one who can apply in a correct way these policies in El Salvador.
Yvonne, I just wanted to add my gratitude for your presentation today as well. You certainly provided so much historical perspective that was new to me, but it just is wonderful to really celebrate the diversity that our world has. And this term of cultural homogenization was relatively new to me in the fullest context, but awareness of what is going on is so important for all of us, and we really appreciate you taking the time. I know Aneta had mentioned that you had worked for 10 years already in this field. You're so young, how that could be, but it's always wonderful for me to see young people in the world making such a positive difference. And I know I have a wonderful array of colleagues that are in the younger generation. And so it's always exciting to know there's such promise in the world for really celebrating all the diversity globally. So thank you again for today's presentation.
Gracias, Iván, por tu presentación. Dice Ilse que le sorprende que seas tan joven y que tengas más de 10 años trabajando en esta área de Panchimalco y el motivo de defender o de rescatar esta cultura. La verdad que es necesario celebrar la diversidad que tenemos y bueno, que es bueno ver jóvenes. Para ella ha sido un tema nuevo, ella no conocía mucho sobre la homogenización cultural que pasó El Salvador, así que le ha parecido un tema bastante interesante. Así que ella se siente feliz de que las nuevas generaciones estén luchando y que sigan adelante en la defensa.
Hi, everyone. I also wanted to express my admiration for not only the presentation that Ivan just gave, but also the work that he has been involved in all these years. And I have a question for him. I was wondering if he could share a little bit more about the current work that he's doing with this population, and also to share a little bit about the trajectory that he has had during the years. And I can say this in Spanish too, so that they can rest a little bit. Y bueno, Iván, nosotros ya nos conocimos, fuimos juntos a Panchimalco. Gracias por la presentación, te agradezco bastante tomarte este espacio para para educarnos y para compartir lo que tú conoces de tu experiencia, ¿verdad? Y yo te quería preguntar si nos podías compartir un poco sobre tu trabajo actual con esta población y también si nos podrías compartir un poco quizás como de tu experiencia en general, de tu trayectoria con los pueblos indígenas.
Sí. Bueno, quizás... como decía Neida, yo inicié toda esta vinculación a los pueblos indígenas cuando tenía 18 años y fue más como intereses académicos cuando estaba estudiando en la universidad. Posteriormente, digamos, fue como ya saliendo de la universidad que me comencé a vincular ya de manera directa en apoyarles organizativamente. Más que todo mi rol o mi función con las comunidades es un rol de apoyo técnico, ¿verdad? De apoyo en la gestión de diferentes tipos de proyectos y en procesos que fortalezcan a la organización.
I started this relationship with indigenous peoples when I was 18 years old. It was for academic interest. Later, I linked myself more directly to organizing to help them, to assist them in this process of organization, and linking them to other nonprofits or institutions or other processes. And now my role is as a technical supporter of support to, to help them, to assist in that area that maybe they are not expertise, how to organize, how to lead a meeting, how to apply to projects, and so I'm helping them in that sense.
Sí, estoy apoyando en este momento a 4 comunidades que tienen, en las cuales están organizadas un promedio de 150 familias. Sobre todo, pues los temas que estamos viendo ahorita es el tema del derecho humano al agua por la crisis hídrica que hay en la zona y el fortalecimiento de las capacidades productivas de las personas en el territorio.
I'm supporting 4 communities. There are 150 families in total on issues of human rights related to water, and also how they can improve their economic circumstances.
I am seeing a comment from Mahesh, who is joining us from India on Facebook, and he is thanking Yvonne from everyone in India as well for sharing, and also commented that the indigenous people in India have been at the receiving end of many projects and industrialization. There are many struggles from opposing the projects to those seeking justice by seeking appropriate compensation and rehabilitation. And thank you again from Mahesh and others in India.
Mahesh es un proyecto, bueno, es el director de la zona de la India, del continente. Entonces, él está agradeciendo por tu participación y él también comenta que en India, la verdad, también la situación respecto a la población de los indios también es deplorable, ¿no? Entonces, que tampoco hay tanto acceso, digamos, a que las personas se les haga valer sus derechos.
This is a lot of information to take in just a few minutes, and they have done a marvelous job of condensing it down, but there's so much more that I would like to know about it. So keep up the good work.
Esta información ha sido bastante extensa, la verdad, un poco difícil como de absorber absolutamente todo, pero has hecho un maravilloso trabajo en poder condensarlo de esa manera y hacerlo así. Entonces, felicidades por tu esfuerzo.
No, gracias a ustedes por el espacio y pues igual vamos a seguir aquí en comunicación para otra oportunidad que vamos a conversar sobre temas vinculados siempre a la población indígena de El Salvador.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I hope that we can continue have more opportunities like this to talk about this topic, indigenous population in El Salvador.
Thank you both again, Yvonne and Aneta, for today's presentation. You both did a wonderful job to share information and communicate that to all of us. There were more expressions of gratitude in the chat, as well as other resources of reading materials, which we will be glad to share with everyone. I don't know, Joe, if you can still hear us. Joe was traveling, and so his connection to Zoom might not be as strong as it typically is. But if you can hear us, Joe, and you want to say anything before we formally conclude, please do so. I guess not, but thank you again, Yvonne, for today's, maybe I do hear Joe. Joe?
Thought I heard him for a second there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Yo quiero solamente. Sí, gracias, Iván, para su presentación, su trabajo. Estoy muy contento por la presentación hoy. Y queremos que podamos trabajar más juntos en el futuro. I'm just thanking Ivan and my poor Spanish for his presentation and for all the good work that he does, and telling him that I'm looking forward to further opportunities of collaborating together in the future. So as Ilsa said, I am traveling, as you probably know, with my parents right now, and I'm grateful to have been a part of this. And I'll turn it over to Ilsa again so that she can describe the upcoming forum schedule, and we'll look forward to being with you all next Friday.
Thank you, Joe. Eyes on the road, hands at 10 and 2, drive safe. Oh, well, again, Yvonne, this is wonderful. You may not realize, but you have an audience that really spans from, you know, our colleagues and you in El Salvador to friends in Kenya, to friends in Nepal, to friends and colleagues in India and across the USA. Your topic resonated with all of us, and we again thank you. Next week, our program will be our own wonderful Joseph Stone, who will be looking forward to sharing an update of the impact that IPM has been able to have through the generosity and support of our friends and donors as this world continues to navigate through all the variants of the pandemic and other issues that span every aspect you can possibly imagine. We will be posting our upcoming programs on Facebook so that you'll know for the balance of the year what to look forward to. But thank you again all for joining us today, and stay safe and healthy. And thank you again for all that you continue to do to make IPM's work possible. Thank you all. Bye now.
Thank you, Ilsa, for all of your beautiful work.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Bye.
Seguimos en comunicación.